next bout?
Yeah! This next one is going to be a special one. This final heat in the first round involves our champion. Now, our champion gets the choice of adversaries. And this fella is one of the guys we've been begging to come down. And he's come all the way from Little Rock for you. Here on the left mic, you guys give it up for the one and only Michael Brown.
Which is the Brain Trust.
Funny, because there's like 97 of you.
And his contender is the reigning You Look Like champion from last month. He is the host of the Black Nerd Power podcast. Put your hands together for Richard Douglas Jones.
Oh my God. Straight up. That's why I go to
No.
So you gotta worry about cake.
Hold on, they have to open their nose out.
Yes.
Right click.
Ready? You guys ready? And 3, 2, 1.
Richard, you look like your button-down shirts have sweat stains in the armpits.
Michael, you look like the Stay Puft Marshmallow hipster.
Richard, you look like your favorite superhero is Thor, and you really have a convincing argument as to why.
Michael, you look like if you cut yourself, you'd explode like a can of biscuits.
Richard, you look like the cameraman on a porn set.
Michael, you look like the liquid in your vaporizer is bacon flavored.
You look like, Richard, you look like you have long, curly toenails, because you can't reach them.
You look like Foghorn Leghorn with his feathers shot off.
Richard, you look like you keep your shirt on during sex.
You look like you insist on being cuckolded.
Richard, you look like your resting face is eating a lemon wedge while staring at the sun.
You look like you've used tears for lube.
Richard, you look like you didn't know you weren't white until all the white kids told you.
You look like a hut from Hoth.
You look like your podcast should be called Mulatto Nerd Power. But then you'd have to change it to Milano Nerd Power because those cookies are so goddamn delicious.
You look like a grown-up adipose.
You look like an old alpha that still goes to all the parties on campus.
You look like you'd consider sucking a dick if it had fresh Krispy Kremes around it.
You look like you fluff your one chest hair with mascara to make it stand out.
You look like you thank women after sex.
Richard, you look like the type of person that would hold weed without passing it.
You look like Biff holding his breath in the manure.
You look like Cuba Gooding Jr.'s stand-in in Boys from the Hood.
You look like the gypsy forgot to turn the curse off.
You look like if there was an intruder in your house, you would tell your girlfriend to go downstairs and see what it was.
You look like you yell "Kapla" when you come.
Klingon without the brow ridges.
Michael, you look like the Doctor.
1 minute!
And by that I mean like all the doctors at once exist in one body.
You look like you got your shoes at a Goodwill store and they didn't have your size.
You look like the coolest thing about you is that one time you told people you lived in a van down by the river.
You look like the first dude who gets killed in a Star Trek away team.
You look like your mom said I love you with Twinkies.
You look like your mom said I love you with beef jerky.
You look like that one time Bender became a human.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
You look like your blood type is I can't believe it's not butter.
How was that, Richard and Michael, everybody? All right, we're gonna ask you to vote.
Hold on, can we please note that there were 2 obscure racial terms used in that set? Because you're not supposed to say gypsy or mulatto. I don't think anymore. I don't think those are. Our grandparents would have loved it. You can or can't? You can. Oh, I mean, I just did. So, here you can't. Don't go outside and use it. All right, you guys, you know what you want?
Yeah! Maybe.
If you want Richard Douglas Jones, huh?
And if you want to see more of Michael Brown, you guys are sweet.
No, that was awful. That was so mean. That was worse than anything he said, that applause.
Michael Brown, take that aloe for the
Richard Douglas Jones is
So
your winner.
sorry.
this time. Yeah.
champ making a good showing.
Goodbye.